Well, a time we all knew was coming. War is after all a breeding ground for death, yet seeing it play out can still shake the mightiest of us. I have had time to regulate my emotions, as I did cry initially, just seeing the blood spray, the tears, the panic, Arnheid in his drifting mind. There is still hope. His death is not confirmed yet, but it is not looking good. The chapter opened grimly. Einar, who is drawn with darkened features to show his internal struggling, through no fault of his own, feeling overridden by the guilt of taking another life, unhinged and lost at the line he never wished to cross. His entire character has been supportive of Thorfinn's redemption, nullifying violence in order for happiness to prosper. He knows the pain of losing others, and is a good man to not impose that selfishness on others. But this time there was no choice. He was in a fight which he was not adamantly prepared for. To beat your opponent without taking their life is a skill for experts. Thorfinn, Thors, and Einar is simply not ready. His reason for killing someone may differ from Thorfinn, who is purely in pursuit of empty revenge, but the weight hangs over him dearly, the same metaphorical corpse clutching onto his body as so many have done with Thorfinn. Thorfinn himself can offer no true solace to the pain of Einar's reality, the emotional weight of his decision to fight bursting out in despairing, shouting. I'd like to quickly refer back to chapter 122, in which Einar's entire philosophy is summed up in his own words. He warns Hild of the nature of killing, regardless of the motive, how from his own experiences seeing Thorfinn it will haunt you forever, and the importance of not committing yourself if you wish to punish those who have killed. Einar has been a clutch of inspiration to characters like Hild and Thorfinn, who have struggled with their emotions and desire for bloodlust. He is an unsung hero who goes under the radar a lot in the recent chapters, but his influence was pivotal for shaping everyone. He decided to fight, a mistake indeed. Einar made the decision to value the memory of Arnheid and what the village represents over the people of that village and those who would attack. He did not realize the toll it would take until after the fact, despite his own words all those years ago. I suppose it just echoes the what to do idea that Thorfinn himself has faced many times, and Einar made what could be a noble choice but was punished for it regardless. I don't think anyone can truly blame him for wanting to defend the life they had created, but most of us had our criticisms, I'm sure. For example, I believe he lost sight of his mission all those years ago with the handshake. A land without war, without slavery, without violence, a land of peace. For Arnheid. Yes, she was a motivating factor for Einar, but defending her honor with more bloodshed is never something she'd be proud of. After taking a life, Einar has come back to his senses, admitting Thorfinn is a true warrior above all others for his constant adherence to flee instead of fight. It is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. Our beloved Einar has been struck down. Just after taking a life, he soon found himself with a knife piercing his neck. Possibly the most painful part of this is the fact it came from an ally, in a moment where peace was presented after a year of fighting. Styrka was overcome by a stupid and foolish spurt of vengeance, charging forth to reignite the war they had just negotiated to end. Einar, sticking to his morals, hating war and death, pulls him back in desperation. Styrka is blinded by his rush of violence, however, and stabs him fatally in the neck to continue his assault. It is put to rest moments later in a clean swipe with his head departing his body, and that puts the end to Ivar and Styrka. Einar is on the floor, bleeding out, whispering to Thorfinn for any salvation, trying to convince himself of the forced sin he believes he committed. His mind flashes to Arnheid, her beauty eternal in the place she now resides, and this clear implication that Einar's life force is fading. Mentality can be a significant factor in surviving ordeals, yet Einar's mental health could not be lower. The final panel is one of utter dismality, Einar's dying body bleeding out on the melting snow. It is a grueling panel. It paints no hope for his recovery, and potentially brings the first central character to their end in a very long time. I did have my issues with the lack of danger the main characters seem to be in. Despite Thorfinn being shot, I don't think anyone expected him to go out there, so this is a necessary moment, as it really shocks us back into the idea that anyone can die at any given moment. The next few chapters may be some of the darkest of Vinland. If he should be dead, one of Thorfinn's rocks will have been crumpled to dust in the scarred hands of hatred. Thankfully, he has family and friends to support him, ones who fundamentally understand the loss, unlike, for example, Guts, whose comrades simply never experienced the torment he experienced with Casca, and thankfully will stay strong and deny secluding himself off. But honestly, what a depressing chapter, and a significant turning point in this beautifully tragic manga. Until the next one, peace out.